Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Lisa's Love and Light. I don't know. I tried to get on a few minutes ago and I don't know. But here I am, guys. I hope all is well. Everything is going well with you guys. And thank you for continuing to show up to this channel and to be here and, you know, to join me here. If you're not here when I'm on live, you can always subscribe to the channel and watch it on your in your spare time. But feel free to share the videos with other people because some of these messages might resonate with you guys. Before I get into this message today, I want to thank you all, listeners, for really supporting me on this channel. One of my videos I did on Friday, I believe, about the Great Lie, so far has almost 1,000 views. And thank you guys for that because as I grow, heal, and evolve, I'm learning to just be myself. I don't have to be anybody else or anything else, but be myself and be true to me, you know. And that's what I'm saying to you guys as well. As you start to heal and take care of yourself, be true to yourself, be who you are. It doesn't matter about who, what, why, where, if people accept you or don't accept you, that doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. Just be yourself and keep moving forward and stay focused on your healing because that's so important. So, guys, let's get into this topic of discussion. One more comment before we move forward. Please keep in mind, I'm not a therapist, social worker, or a counselor. I'm just someone who's gone through hell. Mostly more hell than what most people go through. And I found creative ways to get through it and to take care of myself and to realize my self worth. And that's what came out of this. Instead of succumbing to the problems and the situations and the challenges that I face, I just became an overcomer. Prayer, meditation, asking God to help me, and doing the work to move forward. So, some of the things I share here today, if you're going through difficult trials and tribulations and challenges, maybe some of the things I speak about will resonate with you, and you can try to see if it works for your specific circumstance. So, with that being said, the topic of discussion, guys, is never dim your light because someone feels blinded by it. Never dim your light because somebody feels blinded by it. There's a lot of what I'm hearing in this world today, what people feel. They don't like this, they don't like that. I don't care about this, don't care about that. But, all those things, it doesn't have to do with their own life. It has to do with the life of somebody else. That is not, you know, don't care about what they're talking about. When people are so focused on other people's journey and what they have going on, then they neglect themselves and everything associated with themselves that they need to take care of. All that stuff falls apart because they're too focused on what somebody else has going on. And it just like never fails to amaze me that how do they get their own life in order if they're busy focusing on what somebody else have going on. But in any event, I love boundaries. In the beginning, I was terrified of setting them. My therapist encouraged me, little nudges here and there, and we would just talk about these things that was happening to me. And he didn't have a lot of words, and I would get annoyed with him, because I would be like, it felt like just, it was just overwhelming. I was talking a lot when I did start to talk with him, and he just said, set boundaries over and over and over again. And I learned how to do that. At first, I was afraid to do that because, when you do that, people feel some kind of way. I was still in that energy of people pleasing. And so when I learned that people didn't give a damn, they didn't care, it became easier to set these boundaries because they only care with what they can get. I was just a doormat to most of them. So I learned to set boundaries, and it was so important. Like I said, I didn't like doing it at first, but I love them now because let me tell you what happens when you set boundaries. Um, they help you to stay focused on your healing, your journey, your meditation, prayer. It helps you to stay focused on what you have going on so that your um, situation doesn't fall apart and you're not neglecting your responsibilities because you're busy focusing on other people and other situations instead of yourself. When it comes to our mental and physical health, it's so important to put that first. Because if that breaks down and we don't have that, what happens is that we can't take care of anything else around us if our mental and physical health isn't okay. So yes, that must always be a number one priority, and then everything else comes after that. How can you give yourself or the best of you to any situation if you're not taking care of your mental and physical health and that's deteriorating? That's why it's so important to put that as a priority. And that's not being narcissistic or in love with yourself or anything. That's doing the right thing by yourself, you know? I can give the best of myself to any situation after focusing and taking time out for myself, for prayer and self care. Self care is so important, guys. Um, I I love to research. I told you guys I'm a little bit of a nerd, especially when I was in college and I started to get the flow of how things work. I love looking up things when my professor would say, "You got to go do A, B, C, and D." In the beginning, it used to feel like a burden, but as I got the niche of it, I loved it because I learned new things that I didn't know. And I still use Bing.com to research a lot of things, especially now with health, because as we get older, stuff happens to us, especially women. I mean, men too, but women is in particular with certain things. And I research, look at things, try things. And when they work, I get excited, you know. So I'm always taking care of health, going to the gym. Like before I came on, I was at the gym, spent a little more time than I wanted to there. Um, because I'm trying to do that time management thing that I struggle with, but little by little steps. But I was able to get there and learn about a new machine, how to use it, etc., so forth. So I love doing that, and I love taking care of myself, because as you do those things, you can give the best of yourself to any situation. But if you're broken down and you're not focused because you got health issues or other stuff going on that you are neglecting, then you can't take care of anything else around you. So that's why it's important to make that as a number one priority. Um, Self reflection and meditation helps us all to stay in alignment. If you're focused on drama and toxicity and what somebody else have going on, you can't stay focused on yourself. It's so important to pull back your energy when someone's trying to pull you into drama and negativity and whatever. A lot of people, what I've learned is as I grow, heal, and evolve and change for the better, some people don't like it because, I'm not a person with an attitude or upset constantly, and I see that around me a lot. People just miserable, unhappy, have attitudes, and I just come as I am, let my light shine. I'm mostly, for the most part, in a good mood. I'm relaxed and things like that because I stay in prayer, meditation, and I self care. And that's important. I don't care who, what, why, where. That's important. I make time for that daily. Doesn't matter, if I have to shut my phone off or whatever the case is, get off the computer, whatever. That is important because that's a number one priority, and it doesn't matter about the noise and what people are saying about that. And that's why, because I do these things, especially the meditation and the prayer part of it, it helps me to stay in alignment. It helps me to keep my vibrations high, because when you feel you don't feel well and you just dragging yourself, it's easy for the toxicity to come in and find you. You know, it's like the crabs in a barrel that I talk about. They're all trying to get out the barrel, and the crabs are crawling over other crabs and dragging them right back down to the bottom. That's how people who are stuck and stagnated in toxicity, they don't like people who let their light shine. They don't want to see that light. They want to dim it, find problems with you, gossip, whatever. And at first, it used to be so hurtful, people. I used to cry all the time in a ball, in a position, until I started to do the work and realize it through therapy and doing the work that I don't deserve an ounce of what they're talking about. Most of these things are lies. I don't even know what they're talking about, And so what I do um, is I just ignore it. Like I said, the best medicine for this kind of stuff is 1,000,000% silence, because if I engage in this, then I am lowering my vibration to the toxicity. And I would never allow myself to lower myself to toxicity. It's just not okay. So it's important that I keep going and moving forward. Guys, so take time out for yourself, take care of yourself. Ignore the noise. People will talk and say whatever. But, if you're a person that you are in high spirits and you feel well, you're doing good, um, don't let anyone dim your light, just because they don't like it, because it's shining bright. Be your authentic self. Be who you are. Don't dim that for anybody. It doesn't matter, why. If they don't like it, they don't have to be around you. This is how, by being in alignment, meditating, um, this is how I'm able to be myself without apologies or making any excuses. You know, if I was being disrespectful or mean or something, that's different. But just being myself and people feel some kind of way about it, I just leave it as is, because some people will love you for the changes that you make, and other people will not. They just will, because they just want you to be like crabs in a barrel. They want to pull you back down to the bottom. In this world of fakeness, I just realized I knew how important it was for me to be my real self and to let my light shine, because there's so many fake everything, fake love, fake relationships, fake this, fake that, in a world where we should be building people up and being our authentic selves. And I didn't learn too much about how to do that until I started to heal and take care of myself. So important, to this healing process, and I feel better. Guys, when you feel better, you do better. When you feel better, you do better. And you can be the best version of yourself. This part of my life, because of everything that I've learned and everything that I've gone through, I can give my best to any partner that comes my way, because I already healed those things, went through the pain and etc., and looked at everything. I'm not perfect, none of us are, but I'm not carrying baggage and luggage to any new connection, or new connection, um, because nobody deserves that, and just take care of yourself, live your life. Even though we're living in uncertain times and situations, take care of yourself. Give yourself that, go get that massage, take yourself to that restaurant, um, buy that favorite wine you want, that favorite blouse. Do things that's going to uplift your spirit and keep your vibes high, instead of bringing in drama or toxicity or opening the door to that. And it's important when you're on this journey to set boundaries, because and make sure those boundaries are being respected, because sometimes people just want to just disrespect that. So Never allow that, and make it clear you need time for yourself. We all do on a daily basis. It's so important, people. And keep moving forward. And as old doors close, as some will, move towards the new beginnings and the new doors, because there's going to be blessings behind those doors as you continue to move forward and take care of yourself. One day at a time, one step at a time. Nothing venture is nothing gain, guys, and just keep taking care of yourself. The weather's going to turn over. We're going to have the sun out again, and it's going to be nice. Take that favorite vacation. Take that time out to do for you, because as you do that, it lifts up your spirit and keep you, in high vibes and within alignment. That's the message today, guys, because I have to go. Um, but, I'll be back tomorrow. I'm not sure what time, but continue to join me on a daily basis, because you're going to hear different ways, how I take care of myself. And, we're going to always have those good days and not so good days. And on the not so good days, don't be hard on yourself. Just get back up and keep going the next day. That's the message again. Guys, enjoy your day, and I will see you again tomorrow. Hit this notification, hit this button, the subscribe button. I'm sorry, guys. So that you know when I come on, because I can't give a time, so that when I'm on, you get a notification and you can join me here and tell others also about this channel. Well, thank you again, guys. Have a great day, and I'll see you again tomorrow. This is Lisa, shedding love and light, and I'm saying bye for now.